It's the Flex Zone Podcast, episode 397, Closer to Heaven. Only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. The title says it all. No explanation needed. You guys know the vibes. Talking that Ravens talk. All your other news and notes as we head into mandatory minicamp, the last stop before training camp. And of course, we're going to talk about the NBA Finals game 5. Can Denver bring it home or will Miami live to fight another day in South Beach? The crew's all here. You guys know the guests we have. It's going to be a banger show. The Flex Zone Podcast, guys. Only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. Coming to you live. The only show bringing you the hottest topics with a list longer than indictments. More than your boy Trump, Raj. It's the Flex Zone Podcast, fellas. Only place giving you sports how you want it.
When you need it.
Episode 397. We are closer to that wonderful, wonderful milestone of episode 400 in just a few weeks. You guys know we do this every Monday. Videos throughout the week. Hit the bell, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, vote on the poll. Let us know your expectations for a successful Baltimore Ravens 2023 season. Everybody's here and we're ready to get the party started. I'm going to start things off with my boy. His name is crazy. The team keep it clean clapper. He's keeping it clean today. He's Big Raj. He's our social media producer. But you know, we always got to have a little fun with him. Raj, how you feeling today, my guy?
I'm feeling great today.
Finish him, Daddy.
Daddy has to finish. Look, they done left the damn. Look. Daddy has to finish him. I had to change the name today. I can't be the cheek clapper. I can't be doing that. This is team keep it clean. Engraven is in the building, so this is family friendly today. All right, so none of that foolishness. I'm not
good.
It will return though. It will return.
No,
but for today, I'm the team keep it clean clapper. I can't wait to talk to Engraven. I did see him Thursday, but I can't wait to ask him some great questions. I mean, we haven't actually really talked to him since the Broncos game when Lamar got hurt. So can't wait to, chop it up with him, see where his thoughts at, see where his mind is at, and to see what his thoughts is on this great season upon us as a Raven fan.
This next man, he is the captain of the Goofy ship. He is the voice of reason. He is the man, Cravante Bay. And he's got something new for you guys.
Well, now that's goofy.
Cravante.
It's Dre. That's me playing for Dre.
And he's frozen.
He's roboting today.
He's roboting today.
I wanted to play a song.
He's doing one of these numbers.
Well, since he's there, it's only right we play a song. Cravante, how you feeling, my guy?
Man, I'm doing all right, good brother. Doing all right, man. Another episode closer to that good old 400 club. Can't wait. Another Monday evening in the man cave. We got a friend of the show, family member, brother, and I can't wait to get it started.
This next man needs no introduction. He's last but not least. He is the head of the Flex Zone table. He's a super producer, pride of the East Side, savior of misbehavior, the A-lister, the straw that stirs the drink, Mr. Morgan State University, and the dean of Balso Hall University, Drizzy Dre. What's going on, my brother? Throwing your ones up. How you feeling, my guy?
Feeling extra good, man. Like you said, a friend, brother of the show. Very excited. This man, I missed this brother while he was in town, but very excited to have our brother on the show today.
Let's get to it. Without further ado, this next man is the Ravens YouTube Messiah. Yes, that's his new nickname. You can run with it. He is part of Team Keep It Clean. I don't think the man sleeps. He's always dropping content, keeping us in the know, dropping the hottest content on YouTube. You can follow him at Engraven Vids. He is the man who's joining us once again. It's been a while since we talked to him, but he's always showing us love. We always appreciate his support. It is the man himself, the man who his price just keeps going up. But he's back here on the Flex Zone one more time before we hit episode 400. It is the man you guys all been waiting to see so patiently. Engraven, everybody. He's in the building.
Oh man.
You need more? You need more?
No,
You need more?
you
good?
you're
Okay.
good. That's enough. Oh
You
All
might
right.
remember a few of those chants, my guy. You know.
Yeah. I remember for sure, man. Shout out to WWE, AEW, WCW, WWF, all that good stuff. Now I appreciate y'all having me on. The one thing though, that Ravens Messiah, no, y'all can keep that.
I got
Yeah,
you,
what's
bro.
up, man?
Hey, man, how have you been? You've been busy, as we all know. Just let us know what's going on with you. How do people can keep up with you? And how was your trip? Because you were out here in the Charm City, at the stadium,
Yeah.
at the castle, all around.
Yeah. Things are good. Things are really good. Things are busy. Things have just been crazy. I've been just fortunate to be able to have linked up with some really good people and been put in a lot of situations that are no doing of my own. There's been other people and them just being willing to reach out and haven't been willing to include me with stuff that they had going on. So I just been just honored to have done that. For people who want to keep up with anything that we got going on, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, it's Engraven Vids, and everything else is too. The Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Everything is Engraven Vids. It's Team Keep It Clean, like y'all done mentioned a couple of times, but it's Team Keep It Clean, so it's family friendly content. But we have fun on there. We have a lot of fun on there. It's content every single day, whether it's the off season, whether it's the in season, whenever. It's content for you every single day. Whether it's those slow days of summer that's coming up real shortly, or things are going crazy when preseason and everything starts. You're always gonna have something new every single day. So come through, subscribe, and just have a good time, man.
All right, let me go first. Engraven, so glad that you're back, my good brother. I saw you Thursday.
Yeah.
And you know, it was even though it was for a little bit of time, I had a great time talking Ravens content with you.
For sure.
But you know what? To be honest with you, when I came up, I didn't know what to really expect because I'm like, who? Because I didn't know who Tom Grassi was. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't know who he was. But I actually did watch the video that he dropped, and I almost teared up as well, man. And I thought that was a beautiful take on the Ravens. I'm glad that he invited you along the journey as he visits 30 stadiums in 30 days. I thought it was
crazy,
beautifully done, man. Just take us through like some of that experience that you saw during the tour of the Ravens complex and the castle, and the fans at Jimmy Seafood coming out to support you guys.
Yeah, man, it was a crazy experience. I remember when he first announced that he was gonna do the 30 stadiums in 30 days, and I'm like, man, this dude he's crazy. Because even me going to one stadium is tiring enough for me. So I can't even imagine doing 30 in 30 days. That's like insane. But with Tom Grassi, I knew he was good people. We had worked together before 2 seasons ago when the Ravens played the Packers. I had went on his channel. He had invited me on his channel, and then I had him on our channel. But he was super, super good people, very supportive. And when he reached out to me, for this, I was surprised. I was surprised, but very appreciative. And I told him like, oh yeah, I just fly up. It ain't nothing. So just being there, we went to the stadium tour at 8:30 in the morning. I'm not a morning person, but for my Ravens, I'll wake up. But we went to the stadium tour, got there at 8:30. And it was nice. They were just super welcoming. The two tour guides, they knew what they were talking about, because you have some tour guides in some places that will just be going through the motions and whatnot. But it seemed like the tour guides that work for the Ravens, they really appreciated their jobs. And they made it a lot of fun. Just seeing the stadium, because I've been there for a lot of games, but haven't ever been to like the background, seeing the behind the scenes of the stadium. It was really cool. Just a lot of the stuff that we see on TV, like when the players are walking into the stadium from the parking lot, and Ravens, like the Ravens social media, just sitting there recording that. Just to see that spot in person was cool. To see the spot where Lamar and Hollywood were riding on the golf cart, that was neat. To see the spot where the Ravens come out and hit that play like a Ravens sign, it was cool, man. Just seeing that locker room, just seeing Harbaugh's office. Just seeing the suites that go from they started, I think, like $100,000 to own a suite. I said, oh, okay, now, well, all right, that's a big money, right? But just seeing it was an Under Armour suite, it was a Kaiser Permanente suite, and it was a I forgot who owned the other suite, some pest control company. But either way, it was just really nice seeing all of that stuff. Just hearing about how it's over 3,000 people, employees that work there on game day. Just being in the room where they control all the videos and stuff. They let us play with the button with that controls all the instant replays and whatnot. It was just cool how they showed a lot of love, because this was obviously for Tom Grassi, but they showed him a lot of love. And like when we first got to a room where there was a window so we could see the field, how they had his name just sitting up there, seeing Tom Grassi. It was super cool, man. It was super cool to see. It was a really nice experience. And then at the castle, being at the castle for training camp is really nice. It's very organized. It's very clean. It's very well kept. But the inside was even nicer. And I had never been on the inside before. I don't think Ravens would invite me on the inside, but it was nice to see that. Cassie Calvert, she came down and she had welcomed us, and she took us upstairs to where Ryan Mink, where they do the lounge, him and Garrett Downing. Garrett Downing was away on vacation at the time, but so it was just Ryan Mink, and they had Tom Grassi on the lounge, so that was cool. It was nice to see their studio and whatnot. And it was just a really, really cool experience, man. To see the two Ravens Lombardi's trophies right there inside of the castle was nice. Just all the artwork that they got. I know a lot of it couldn't be recorded, but there was a lot of the nice artwork, especially from the Super Bowl runs. It's really, really neat in there. Ravens do a very, very good job of the upkeep with their facilities, both the stadium and the Owens Mills, the castle. So it was nice to see that a lot more in depth than just going for a training camp and then leaving, but to see the behind the scenes and all the operation stuff. That was cool.
All right, awesome. You came to Baltimore recently, and you got to go to Jimmy Seafood, and like I said, I'm upset that I missed you, but we do have somebody in the comments, Marcus. He wanted to know a recap of the re-signing of Lamar Jackson. This is his first time on the show, and he wanted your thoughts about that.
Oh man, that was obviously the biggest move of this offseason. That was a move that really, I felt like really controlled how Ravens and Ravens fans, just everybody, felt about how successful or unsuccessful the Ravens could be this upcoming season, depending on what was going to happen with Lamar Jackson. I was somebody who I didn't think it was going to get done. I did not think it was going to happen for the longest. I just did not see it going down. But what really changed my tune on that was when they signed Odell Beckham Jr. And I was like, oh, right. And the amount of money that they paid him, I was like, wow, this is crazy. This is very un-Raven-like, but I loved it because they stepped out there. They went above and beyond, and they got somebody who has been a legitimate wide receiver in this league And yeah, he was hurt. So they took advantage of, I guess, his injury and whatnot, the injury that kept him out last year. But they said he got it cleaned up the right way this time. So I'm looking forward to that. But I think that really helped with Lamar Jackson with just bringing him there, because before, the only signings that they had really done, just really some quiet signings. They brought back Justice Hill. They re-signed Geno Stone. They signed Nelson Aguilar, but they hadn't really made that move like that, where it was like, oh man, this is the one. But when they signed Odell Beckham Jr., that was it. So then once they did that, I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe Lamar will end up staying. And of course, Odell was a piece of the puzzle to get Lamar to stay, because y'all know Lamar requested both Odell Beckham Jr. and DeAndre Hopkins, and I would love if he got his request fulfilled, but we'll see. Halfway there, so we'll see what happens with D-Hop. But when they signed Lamar, it was just like, oh man, it was a big sigh of relief, because it was over. It was over. This thing that been going on for years. Just all the talk about it. We done talked about it. I know y'all done talked about it. Everybody done been talking about it for the longest. So will it happen? Could it happen? How much will it be? If it does happen, where will he end up? But for it to all be over with Lamar Jackson, and still right now he is. I thought it would last a lot for a lot less amount of time, him being the highest paid quarterback in the league. I thought one of the other guys would have been signed by now. But I mean, it could happen any day, so we'll see. But I was happy that it was done. I was happy for quite a few different reasons. One, because Lamar Jackson staying with the Ravens. That was always my preference, that he stayed. Another reason was because he got it done in a way that they said he couldn't get it done. Lamar Jackson, of course, throughout the entirety of his career, he's continued to be doubted. And so you always hear so many people saying what Lamar Jackson can't do. So many people continue to emphasize what they feel he can't do, what he's unable to do, what he's not going to do. But when Lamar Jackson does it, you hear a lot of crickets. A lot of those same people who continue to say things that he can't do, when he does them, they don't acknowledge what he did. And that's unfortunate, but I was just happy for Lamar. I was happy for just his camp, his people, that is done. And now we can all move forward. And hopefully this can be a year where Lamar Jackson, he finishes the job. He finishes what he said he was going to do, what we all want to see him do, and that's win a Super Bowl for the Ravens.
Hey, Cravante, before you jump in, brother, I gotta have a follow-up question for my man. All right, you had mentioned D-Hop. So there's talks about the Ravens, there's the Bills, the Chiefs. Now we got the Patriots in the mix. Where do you ultimately end up seeing him go? I know one of your videos, you were really hoping that when the conversation that we were still in the mix, you were really excited in one of your videos. Do you think the Ravens get DeAndre Hopkins? And if not the Ravens, who gets to sign D-Hop?
I mean, that would be my first choice for where I would love for him to go. I've been wanting DeAndre Hopkins on the Ravens for the longest. I remember back in, I want to say it was 2020, where it was said that they tried to trade for him, but that's when he ended up going to the Cardinals. I was heartbroken. I was crushed that night. No, it was right before the draft when that came out. But if not the Ravens, and I would love for it to be the Ravens. I think they got a legitimate shot, and especially since he's a free agent, they can come up with a contract. They ain't got to trade for him and give up anything. So that makes it easier for them. But at the same time, it makes it easier for 30 other NFL teams too. If I had to choose somebody where I think he would end up going, I'll probably say either the Chiefs, or because the Chiefs, like they always in the mix for everybody, man. The Chiefs are a very aggressive team, which I respect and I love and appreciate. If there's somebody who's available, especially a difference maker, they're going to be talking to them. They're going to be seeing what they can do to try to sign that person, and they're going to try to make it happen. So I would say the Chiefs. I think the Bills are still another team. They are also aggressive as well. Maybe not Chiefs style aggressive, but they're a different type of aggressive. But so I'd say the Chiefs or the Bills. I know a lot of people throwing around the Browns, and that is a possibility as well, especially with Deshaun Watson being there, and he'll be there for the whole year this year since he already served the suspension last year. So that Browns are always a team that they willing to do something crazy too. and them signing DeAndre Hopkins, it wouldn't even really be crazy, but it would be a really good move for them because it's DeAndre Hopkins and him and Deshaun Watson. They haven't played together in years, but they obviously they got a connection. So if he went to the Browns, I would expect that connection to pick right back up where it left off.
Okay. DeAndre Hopkins would be a wildly crazy addition for the Ravens. But as it stands right now, the Ravens offense looks pretty good. Got some nice weapons on the outside. Running backs have always been there. It's just a bit of the injury bug.
Mm-hmm.
All things but let's take out injury. We're always gonna hope for the best. Where is the ceiling for this Ravens team? Are we thinking AFC Championship? And if the Ravens don't make it, will it be a failure? Like where is the ceiling and where is that floor?
No, the ceiling is definitely Super Bowl. And especially said to take out health concerns. That's been one of Ravens' biggest opponents throughout the past couple of years. It's been health. Like you think about it, you go to 2020. 2020. They won the playoffs. They were playing. Who did they play? The Bills. Yeah, because they beat the Titans. And then they played the Bills. Lamar out, concussion. You go to 2021, entire season. Like man, that whole roster got decimated with injuries. You go to 2022. They started off hot, injuries caught up, especially with Lamar, and that was pretty much a wrap. So it's been injuries that have been their biggest weakness. So if they can clear that up, especially with the roster that they have, especially on offense, man, then the sky is the limit. Lamar, he missed the end of the past two seasons. Rashad Bateman, he missed the end of the past he missed the end of last year and the beginning of his first year. Odell Beckham Jr., he missed the whole last year.
Right.
J.K. Dobbins, he missed a lot of the chunks of last year. Gus Edwards, he missed a lot of the chunks of last year. So there's injury concern. Ronnie Stanley, we know his history. So if you can take injuries out of it, if they can stay healthy, which is a lot to ask, it's the NFL, it's a very physical sport. But if they could stay injury free, at least for the most part, especially the key guys, then they got all the potential in the world to make it to the Super Bowl, and not only to make it, but to win it. They have a new offense, so that's going to be something that we'll see if they can get clicking right away, or if there are going to be some growing pains with the new offense. Because I know everybody's happy or most people are happy that Giro is gone. But at the same time, while we do expect good things for Todd Monken and whatnot, we got to realize that this is a new offense. And these are going to be new plays and new play designs and whatnot, new concepts. And that's exciting, but that takes work. It takes practice. It takes repetition. It may not be something that they get right away. We hope that they get it right away, but it may not be something that they get right away. So we got to wait and see with that. As far as their floor taking out injuries, I would say like 10-7, and I feel like that's so low. Between 10-7 and 11-6. I would say between those two will be their floor, because Ravens, I don't expect them to go undefeated. I think that would be unrealistic to expect them to go undefeated, even if they were completely healthy, because Ravens usually every year they have 2 or 3 games where it's like, what are y'all doing? How did y'all let that happen? Last year was definitely the Dolphins game. That was one of those games. And another AFC East team, the Bills game, because they were up. And I mean, there were more games. There were the Giants games. There were a lot of games where the Ravens were up by multiple scores, even late in the games, and they let it just slip away. So they had a little more than the norm last year when it came to those type of games, which was very frustrating, especially when I know y'all probably remember the graphic, because the graphic first started. I think it first started with the Dolphins. It was like, Ravens had this big lead. It showed their lead, I think, at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And then they added to that graphic. I think they added the Bills. I forget the exact order, but there was one point of the season where the graphic had like 3 teams on there. Oh, Ravens had these leads going into the fourth quarter, and they end up losing. So it's like, all right, okay, cool. We only got 3 of them games. Then later on in the season, by the end of the season, it had like 6 or 7 of those games. I'm like, really, man, what are y'all doing? So if they can and that's a mix of things. That's offense, stop scoring. It could be defense. They stop stopping teams. It could be a lot of different things. It could be turnovers, this, that, and the third. But we just hope that this team is a much more sound Baltimore Ravens this year, a much more mature Baltimore Ravens this year. So that's what I feel like is the ceiling is the Super Bowl, and the floor 10-7, 11-6.
Let me follow up with that. You were talking about last year how the Ravens were with these leads. What do you think are the missing components, even with the signing of Odell Beckham, that this team needs?
I just really think a killer instinct. I think is their mentality. Harbaugh he's a very unique type of coach because he can be very, very aggressive sometimes, but at the same time, there's other times where he can just be very, very passive. And it's just finding that happy medium for John Harbaugh. I think that will be one of the biggest things. The Ravens, they have the tools to get it done, but I think they just need more of that killer instinct. Situational play calling. That was something that last year I feel like they really, not even just last year, for like the past 2-3 years, they really struggle with situational play calling on offense and sometimes on defense too. But it just, when you struggle with situational play calling, you can have great play on first down, offense or defense, great play on second down, but third down, this is the situation where you really got to bring it. And if you can't consistently get that right, if you consistently getting it wrong, it's going to spell the end for your season sooner rather than later. So hopefully Ravens, they can take care of that. But then see another thing too, we talked about earlier with the injuries. Even that's the one thing that's so one of the one things that's so scary about the Ravens. They, even with all the issues that they had, all the issues with the offense, with the situational play calling, with them blowing the leads and stuff, with just everything. When they were healthy, they still made a lot of noise. They still would have winning records. They still would be at the top or close to the top of the AFC. They still were in control of a lot of things. Even with all the issues that the Ravens had on offense, defense, coaching, everything, they still, when they were healthy, they still remain one of the top teams. That's why when you think about the potential of the Baltimore Ravens, I think it's got to be high if they're healthy. It's got to be almost through the roof if they're healthy, because they've shown what they can do with a limited offense, with the offense that held the quarterback back. Like I know Jamison Hensley came out with the article a couple of days ago, and if they did everything that they did with all their issues, just imagine if they're healthy and they don't have a lot of those issues. Just imagine how good the Baltimore Ravens could be.
So I know you said, so it sounds like you're leaning towards coaching more so than a particular player that they could maybe sign, or somebody on like a pass rusher.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I think it's both, because it goes down to it's coaching and it's execution. It's both sides of it. But as far as something that can really put them over the top, right now, at edge, at pass rush, there's question marks. There's a lot more question marks than answers right now, because we have Odafe Oweh, he's been struggling. So hopefully he can pick that up this year. And I know he probably wants to more than anybody. We got David Ojabo, and while he was probably going to be a top 5 at the latest, top 15 pick in his rookie year, or going into that draft his rookie year, there's still unknowns about him. We don't know how he'll be in the NFL yet. And last year was pretty much a red shirt year. I know he played a tiny bit, but we'll see with him. We got Tyus Bowser, and this year he'd be fully healthy going into the season, because last year he was coming back from the injury that he suffered in week 18 of the previous year. So that just messed up the timing for everything with him, which was unfortunate. So at pass rush, again, a lot of question marks. A lot of question marks. So I think one thing that could really show that killer instinct for the Ravens, somebody like Danielle Hunter. And we know he's available. And right now he's not reporting to Vikings mandatory camp. So I mean that screams like, hey, get me out of here. Somebody come rescue me, come save me. Send the Vikings something decent so I can get on up out of here. Somebody like that, I think, could help a lot. I think somebody like Jadeveon Clowney could help. With Jadeveon Clowney, he's a solid pass rusher, but run stopping is really his thing. So with the Ravens having lost Calais Campbell, I know they're going to be getting Michael Pierce back because he missed most of last year. Somebody like Jadeveon Clowney could help in both areas, both the pass rush and the run defense too. So I would say a significant edge guy, somebody who you know what you can get out of him. And I know Justin Houston is out there too. But I feel like with Justin Houston, they could bring him back and he would be sort of a safe option. But with him, I feel like, especially with him being older, you got to watch how you use him, because I feel like last year, there was a period of time where he was just going off. He was going crazy with it. But I think he sort of like, he got just drained toward the end of the season. I think he just got tired because it was just him doing his thing. And then it wasn't really getting too much help from the other outside linebackers and edge guys. But yeah, I think if they upgraded significantly there, and we'll see about the cornerbacks too. Because the cornerbacks, they present a very big unknown after Marlon Humphrey and after Rocky Yassin. It's a lot of unknown there. But I think more so edge. Well, depending on what they get out of their edge guys, or if they trade for somebody, that could really put them in a real good position moving forward.
Oh man, so let's go back to the middle of last season.
Okay.
Lamar gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if he's going to come back. He doesn't come back. It's a very strenuous off season.
Mm-hmm.
You prepared me for that, by the way. Thank you for you, Nitro and Bobby Trosset and Sarah Ellison, 410 Sports Talk. Y'all prepared me very well. I was even keel. I wasn't too high, too low. I was like, maybe he might come back. He might not. Let me breathe.
Yeah, that was all of us, man.
I mean, but clearly we got it done.
Mm-hmm.
My question is this. I've been following your boy, the Wonderkin Show.
Yeah.
Nitro, he's very hilarious. Very great content, by the way. Special brother. Very special, if you know what I mean. But my question is this. How did that interview with you, Nitro, and Lamar come about? I mean, because I mean, I saw something coming, and I saw something real special coming, but and it happened like all in the same day. Like when Lamar said he was coming back, and boom, the video drops, and at his restaurant. How did that come together? Like
I was saying earlier, it's been crazy because these opportunities that we've had, it ain't got nothing to do with me. It's all been other people. The stadium tour and going to see the castle and stuff and all that. It's Tom Gracia's thing. The Lamar interview, it came because of Nitro. Lamar Jackson had posted something about his restaurant on Twitter. Nitro had responded to it. He was like, "Oh, it'd be really cool if I could shoot an episode at the restaurant." And Lamar Jackson follows him on Twitter too. And Lamar Jackson replied to him. He's like, "Hey, as long as you get in a plate." So Nitro was like, "All right, cool." And so one day, me and Nitro was talking on the phone, and he was like, "Hey, when I shoot the episode at the restaurant, do you want to be a part of it? Especially with me being down here already." And I was like, "All right, cool, no problem, man." And it's funny because with him, he lives like 3-4 hours away from the restaurant. I live maybe 30 minutes away. He ended up getting there before me on that day. But so we got there, we recorded the episode. It was for 41 minutes or 45 minutes. I forget exactly what it was. We recorded the episode, then we were like, all right, we're getting ready to get out of here. So Nitro was just like, all right, let me just check it, make sure everything sounds good and whatnot. Then we'll work on it later. So he checked it. There was no audio. And it was like, oh, okay, wow, we just recorded that whole episode, no audio. All right, cool, great. So I told him, I said, it's all like, because he was heated. He was very frustrated. He wasn't heated. He was very frustrated that the audio didn't record. He was like, man, I had everything set up right, had it all hooked up the right way. I don't know what happened. So then the second time, I said, it's all good. I said, hey, maybe something good will come of it. It'll be all good. So the second time we recorded, he made sure that the audio was picking up, that the mic was picking up, and then he's like, all right, cool. So we ran it back, recorded, and the second episode we recorded was the exact same length as the first episode. It was super, super crazy. But anyway, so we recorded that, finished. There was audio. It's like, all right, cool. It's audio. Great. Sounds good. All right, we did it. We were at the restaurant and packing up. And we had posted the picture of us at the restaurant. So we posted the picture, start going a little crazy on Twitter. And Lamar Jackson has sent Nitro a DM. He's like, oh, man, I didn't realize that you were coming today. I didn't realize it was Monday. And Nitro was like, yeah, we here now. And Lamar was like, oh, if I know you were going to be there, I would have pulled up. And I told Nitro, just tell him to come through. Tell him we'll wait if you're going to come through. So Nitro told him. And Lamar was like, all right, I'll be there. So a little while later, Lamar came through. We were chopping it up with him for maybe like 30, 45 minutes, just off camera. He was super cool, super laid back. And then he was actually the one, because we had already packed up all of Nitro's camera equipment and stuff. And Lamar Jackson was actually the one who was like, hey, where the cameras at? Let's record. So he was the one that actually suggested that we record something with him. And so he just super cool to him. And this was after he had already agreed to to his deal. He hadn't signed it yet because he had to go to Baltimore a few days after that to sign it, but he had already agreed to it. So he was just super cool, super laid back, very humble, not an arrogant bone in his body, not cocky at all, none of that. So it was nice to have been able to speak to him offline, off camera and stuff, and then do the interview on. Both experiences was super cool. But again, shout out to Nitro, because again, that was all him.
Wow. Yo, that's cool. That wow.
Is super dope.
I got nothing, man. That's amazing. That's an amazing story. And you just tell it like it's a regular day. But
I mean, yeah, we all regular people at the end of the day, man. Whether you famous or you football player, quarterback for the Ravens, or you just somebody who just talk a bunch of nonsense behind the camera about your favorite football team, we all regular people at the end of the day. So that's how I see it. I'm never really been one to be like starstruck or anything like that. But I mean, it was a cool experience because it is Lamar Jackson. Like I told Nitro, like it's crazy because I'm like, man, he just interviewed the quarterback for the Ravens, like this dude that we watch every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whenever. Just interviewed him. So it was a real cool experience. And I was very appreciative of Nitro even thinking of including me in that. Because again, it wasn't supposed to be a Lamar interview. It was just supposed to be recording at the restaurant, and it just ended up turning into a Lamar interview. So it was just a cool opportunity, man.
How like when he came in, I always wondered, like, how humble is he? Is he like extremely humble? Like,
Oh yeah, for sure. Without a doubt, he definitely super humble, super just relatable. It's just like talking to one of your boys, man. It's just like talking to one of your boys that you grew up with, or you know, from the neighborhood or whatever. It's just talking to your homeboy, man. And that's exactly what it was, how it was. He's somebody that makes you very comfortable. He's very approachable. He listens. I know Harbaugh talked about it, and when Harbaugh said this in the presser, I think it was the presser after he signed his contract, Harbaugh talked about how Lamar Jackson sees the field. And he says the way Lamar Jackson sees the field, he got like a photographic memory. He said how everything will be going so fast, but it's like with Lamar, it's like everything is like, it's like a picture. And he remembers this, he remembers that, he remembers where to go, da, 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 da. And when he said that, I appreciated that it's so much, because I'm like, man, this dude, his memory, it is crazy. Because I had called my wife on FaceTime so Carter could talk to Lamar, because Carter, he knows that Daddy covers the Ravens and stuff, loves the Ravens, and that is the one player that he does know who it is, Lamar Jackson. So I FaceTimed him, and Carter talked to Lamar, and I hadn't said anything like, "Oh yeah, remember my son?" I hadn't said none of that. But Lamar Jackson, while he's talking to Carter, he's like, "Hey man, I remember we took a picture together last time." He said, "You don't remember me?" And I'm like, "Man, this dude like really remember my son? Like this dude talks to thousands of people all the time. Anytime he's out, always taking pictures with people, signing autographs, doing this and that. Obviously, with his job, he got to talk to people all the time in the press, the media, the Ravens, his teammates. He talks to his family, obviously. He got all that to take care of. But it really made me appreciate the fact that he actually remembered who my son was. And I'm like, that was just, it was crazy. And it showed that with Lamar, he's just a real person. He's a real person. And it also let me know that he appreciates experiences as well. It's not just all about football. I know at the fun day, the Lamar Jackson fun days that he has down here, he lets it be known. It says it in the flyer, it says it in the invite, says it on the evite. This is for the kids. It's not about taking pictures, no autographs, none of that. It's for the kids to enjoy themselves. And that's something that he emphasizes a lot when it comes to those fun days. And that's where Carter had met him. And I remember when Carter had the first time Carter had met him, Carter was like, he was starstruck because he was like, "Oh, is that really? That's not really Lamar Jackson. That's a fake Lamar Jackson." I said, "No, that's him, Carter." But it was real cool, man. And he was talking about Nitro. He said he loved how Nitro do the slaps and stuff for on his channel and stuff. And so again, this is another thing too. That I took from that, and I've learned this lesson a lot of times, both in good ways and great ways, also in not so great ways. So I had some growing up to do back then, but you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching your stuff. Big channel, small channel, everything in between. You never know who's watching. So since you don't know who's watching, even if you did know who's watching, I think it's very, very important to treat everybody with respect. It's important to treat everybody with kindness. These are real people. These football players, that's why it's very important. Like me, I don't ever want to say, "Oh, this guy sucks. This player is terrible. He sucks." I used to do that. I used to do that long ago, but I had to change because I had an experience with Kenneth Dixon. I don't know if y'all remember him.
I remember.
Yeah, Kenneth Dixon, the running back from the Ravens, because I could not stand Kenneth Dixon. I used to say he's terrible. I used to say he's injury prone. I used to say he's just not good. He can't stay on the field for nothing. And I used to just talk about him bad. One day on Twitter, he sent me a DM, and he said, "I've watched every video that you put out about me. I've heard everything that you said about me. And yeah, it's true. I haven't been healthy. But that's what it was about. Because I made a video about him holding his kid while he was driving. But it looked like he was driving on the street, and the kid was in the front seat in his hand. So I was like, man, this is crazy. We're like, what is he doing? So he had DM me about that, and he was like, no, we were actually just in the parking lot. Just wanted to let you know. So I was like, all right, I'll take the video down. And then I did another video saying, he just DM'd me and he told me that they weren't in the street. He was just driving around in the parking lot. So, but then after that, that's when he told me like, hey, I watched every video that you put out about me, where you talk about the injuries and all that stuff. But I was thrown off because one, him saying that he watched all those videos, but then two, he didn't approach me with no disrespect at all. The way I talked about him in the videos, disrespectful, but he didn't approach me with disrespect. And I was like, wow, that like threw me off, and I appreciated that. And that really made me change my tune about just how I talked about players in general. So it's important because these players, they're people, they're sons, their brothers, their fathers, their uncles. And they have all of that stuff too. They have family that watches the videos. They have family that comes to that. They see all this stuff. if you put out a video on whoever, there's a high chance that somebody from, whether it's them directly or somebody from their family, their friends, is gonna see it, because this stuff comes up. Like, again, big channel, small channel, it does not matter. So it's very important to treat everybody and speak about everybody who you're gonna talk about with respect. Say, for instance, the player has a terrible game. Oh man, they just had an off day. They had a rough game today. They had a rough day at the office. We don't ever want to say, oh, that player, he sucks. He's terrible. Wow, he's so bad. No, these dudes are the top 1% in the world that make it to the league. So that ain't easy. Whether they have a good game or bad, whether they make it in the league for 1 year or 10 years or whatever, that job ain't easy, because only 1% of people in the world make it there. So we want to make sure we just treat them with respect, man.
Well said, man. Well said.
Yeah, it is well said.
Engraven, I gotta ask you about this J.K. Dobbins situation. He wants to get paid. He's been hurt. He's healthy this year. I actually think outside of Lamar, he could be the offensive MVP if they use him right.
Oh,
okay. What is your expectation for this running back room? Because I made a video and I didn't even realize this until after I put it out. Dalvin Cook and J.K. Dobbins have the same agent, but what are your thoughts on the running back room? Can you trust Dobbins? Can you trust Edwards? Can you trust Justice Hill for 17 games? And if J.K. is not getting the ball, will he be a little chatty in the locker room, a little upset? Because it's only one ball, Engraven. Some days Odell's going to have 10 catches. Some days Bateman's going to have 2. It's going to be days where guys don't get touches.
Yeah, it is. And I see how you slipped that in there about him and Dalvin Cook with the same agent. That was slick.
I'm just saying, I don't see it happening. I'm just putting it out there.
I feel you. I think with
I know you want D-Hop. Hey, look, they always every day. Oh, we want D. I'm like, can D-Hop cover or get after the quarterback? But I'll leave it alone. I digress.
You might. You never know.
Hey, that's true, man. But with J.K. Dobbins, I think with him, he just got to ball out, man. It's so much unknown right now, because Ravens, who's the last running back that they really paid like that? It was Ray Rice. And I think after they paid him, we all know what happened. But I think that was the last one that they really paid significantly. After that, they just been playing it.
Running back by committee. Literally.
I had to get with it. I just had to throw that in. I'm sorry.
So after Ray Rice, they've been playing it very, very safe at running back. It's been guys like Terrence West, Alex Collins, Justin Forsett. I mean, the list really goes on. Gus Edwards, he was an undrafted free agent, but J.K. Dobbins has been the guy that they've took the highest chance on, him being a second round pick. With J.K. Dobbins, I feel like the Ravens, I think they wanted to give it all to him. I think they wanted him to be their guy. But then 2 years ago when he got hurt, that all just that dream got crushed right then and there. So after that just messed up everything. I think for him, for them, messed up all their plans. So nothing was the same after that so far. So now with JK, Gus Edwards, both of them being in contract years, this is big. And I think with J.K. Dobbins, are they going to allow him to be the number one back? Like Raj just mentioned, they've been doing running back by committee. And that has been a big thing with the Baltimore Ravens. J.K. Dobbins, he voiced his frustration. I thought it was very significant at the end of last year when J.K. Dobbins voiced his frustration about the Ravens offense, because I was like, this is a running back in a running offense, in an offense that's based around the run, and he's frustrated. So that tells you how messed up this whole thing has been. So I could see J.K. Dobbins being vocal, because J.K. Dobbins is somebody that has been very vocal, especially recently. Of course, the other day he got into it with some Ravens fans that talked about his injuries, that he missed a lot of time. And I mean, hey, he did. He missed a lot of time, but he called them some word in Spanish. I think it means donkey, but a different version of donkey. But then he said he only had one major injury in his career. And then, of course, like a week ago, where he tweeted about, "Hey, I love the Ravens and I love Baltimore, but I want to spend my career here, but I just don't know." And then, of course, at the end of the season, when he let it be known, like, "Hey, if we should have had Lamar out there, we should have won. If we would have had Lamar, we would have won." And I mean, and that's true. But so J.K. Dobbins, he gonna let his opinion be known. So I think this offense, the way that I expect the offense to go, I could see J.K. getting frustrated because, like y'all mentioned, it is only one ball to go around, and I do expect them to pass a lot more. Now, I don't expect it to be like, this 70-30 split between the pass and the run. I think it'll go game by game. And I think it's important that it does go game by game because not every game is the same. But with J.K. Dobbins, I feel like for him, this is going to be such a big, there's so much pressure on him. And I just hope that he can play through the pressure. And what I mean when I say that, since he knows like so much is going to be on him, this is such a big year. It's a pivotal year for him in his career, not even just with the Ravens, but just in his career in general, because he got to show like, hey, I can do this. I can make this thing happen. I can be that guy. But I feel like his opportunities will be limited because of all the passing options that the Ravens have now. And because the Ravens do running back by committee. So whenever he does get a touch, you got to make the most of it. But also in the passing game, I expect him to get involved a lot more in the passing game. And that would be good for J.K. Dobbins just to elevate his game, because he hasn't been involved in the passing game that much. Ravens haven't really involved him like that in the passing game too often. So if he can add that to his resume, that could look good, whether it be for the Ravens or whether it be for the next team.
So I see a couple people in the comments, and I want to particularly go off of Marcus.
Okay.
Marcus, thank you for your comments. One particular comment that he made, and I want to tie it into the question about his comment saying overly aggressive with the 2-point conversions. But last year, the Ravens also had issues on fourth down. So what do you think was the more of the issue, them on the 2-point conversions or them going for it on fourth down too much?
Situational play calling. So really all the above. Everything depends on the situation. Ravens, sometimes they would be, especially on offense. Well, obviously offense, because going for it on fourth down and 2-point conversion, that's all on offense. But there could be this lack of the flow of the game. There could be games where the Ravens offense is struggling. They just struggling to move the ball. They can't get anything. So they finally do get down the field. And it's a close game. They finally do get down the field. It's like, okay, they're moving. All right, drive stalled out. It's fourth down. All right, Justin Tucker about to get ready to kick a field goal. All right, we'll go up 3. We'll get 3 points. Nope. Hey, we're going to send them out for a fourth down attempt. Even though the offense been struggling, and it's like, it can go two ways, because I get it, because it's like, hey, we down here. We've been struggling all game. We trying to make the most of this opportunity. We want 6, not 3. So I get that. But then at the same time, it's like you got to take your points, because Ravens, they should know that better than anybody, especially from last year, because all of those games that they lost them by just one score. It's the craziest thing to watch, man, just to see it happen so often. And then with the 2-point conversions, oh boy, again, situational. There will be times when the Ravens will go for 2, especially 2 years ago. Oh man, they used to have me so heated. I used to be so mad, man. Like really, there was even one game where I was just joking about it. And I was like, man, I said, watch if the Ravens end up getting this touchdown, watch they end up going for 2. It was at the very end of the game. And when I saw them get a touchdown, I said, oh no, please don't let this joke come to fruition. And then they end up going for 2 and not getting it. But
that was a Packers game, I believe. I was there.
It might have been because they did it in the Packers game that year. They did it in the Steelers game. They did it in the Browns game. They were just doing it. It's like, whoa. And then some people thought that they were creatively tanking. And I was like, what? But then I thought about it. I said, well, maybe. But because they didn't have Lamar.
Right.
They didn't have Lamar a lot of those games. So it was like, whatever. But so yeah, it's just situational play calling, and hopefully this year A lot of that'll be much better, and just the flow of the game they'll be a lot more in sync and in tune with the way that the games are going.
All right, and I have a follow-up question to that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we talked about the Ravens ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that there's a particular team in the way, or do you think that they just have a tough road ahead, being the expectations from the offseason signings?
Oh yeah, man, all the above. Because with the way that the Ravens moved this offseason, it's been like, okay, y'all are trying to go in to try to get a Super Bowl. Because they haven't really been moving like that the past couple of seasons. But they really been doing some things. They've been very aggressive this offseason, which I loved. So thank you. But then you talk about teams in the way. I mean, you got to start with the Kansas City Chiefs, because the Kansas City Chiefs have been amazing. They are the team in the AFC. And
yeah, we like to call them tribal chiefs on this show.
but with them, like, and I said this a lot before, because I do really believe it. If the Ravens have Lamar Jackson, they can mess with anybody. They can mess with any team in the league. And I do believe that, especially what really made me believe that, not even the 2019 season, it was the 2021 season. Everybody's hurt. Marcus Peters, he get hurt before the season, season-ending injury. Gus Edwards, the same day Marcus Peters got hurt, season-ending injury. Literally everybody. J.K. Dobbins I think that was when he got injured in the preseason. But the whole team just was out. Everybody out. Ravens playing the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, and I was like, oh, yeah. These Ravens are gonna lose. I love my Ravens, but it's okay to be honest. They're gonna lose. They ain't beating the Chiefs. But to watch them, like, and that was a game where Lamar had threw 2 picks.
Yep.
One of them was Sammy Watkins' fault, because Sammy Watkins just slipped. Okay. But the second one, Lamar, it's just a terrible throw by Lamar. He threw it into traffic with 3 people. It was Hollywood, and it was 3 Chiefs defenders. So it's almost like Lamar was like, hey, which one of y'all want to catch a pick? But with that game, to watch the Ravens beat the Chiefs in that game, and it took literally everything and more to beat them, because at the very end, Odafe Oweh got that knockout, that fumble, that forced fumble, and he recovered it too. So it took everything and more, but they beat him. And that was with a decimated team. So that's why I say, if Lamar's there, they can rock with anybody. But if health is not in the way, oh man, it's just crazy to think about. So yeah, there's the Chiefs. They would obviously be a team. The Bengals gonna bring it too. Bengals gonna bring it. I know with the Ravens and Bengals and Lamar and Joe Burrow, they ain't been able to go against each other too much. But I think, what is Lamar 2-1 versus Burrow, I believe, because last year he beat him. Then the second game he wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Burrow's rookie year, I think they beat up on him then.
Oh yeah, they beat him like a drum.
But then
Zach Taylor had to call a timeout. It was they was getting mad.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the way they kicked the field goal, right?
Yeah, he was over there crying like a little baby. You know, he already looked like a 12-year-old, no facial hair. But
oh man, yeah, okay, I remember that game. And then they beat up on us in that Ravens Bengals game where it was close for. That's what Hollywood called that beautiful touchdown pass. But it was close for a while. But then they just started taking off. But Bengals, gotta give them credit, man, because they, like, when Joe Burrow's been healthy, they've been in position to go to the Super Bowl the past 2 years. Last year, they made it to the AFC Championship game, so they were in a position to go to the Super Bowl, but they lost at the very end. Then 2 years ago, they obviously made it to the Super Bowl. So they've been doing their thing. But again, like we talked about earlier, Ravens have had injuries the past 2 years that have taken them out of everything. So again, hopefully they won't have that this year. The Bills are also a team. I know Josh Allen, he struggled with turnovers a lot last year, but Josh Allen's still nice, and Bills are a nice team. You got the Dolphins. I don't really feel like the Dolphins are in the Ravens' way necessarily, but they got a lot better this offseason. They got a whole lot better this offseason.
Might be getting Dalvin Cook and Engraven.
That's true. That's true.
Remember what you heard.
So they got Jalen Ramsey too. I mean, a
Denver
report came
already
out
said
today.
they out. Denver already said they out, so it's gonna be Miami. He's from South Florida too. South Florida guy.
Yeah, so he would fit right in. So we'll see what happens with that. But AFC is loaded. You got the Jets. Jets were nice last year. They surprised me. I thought they were gonna be like 1 or 2 years away, but now they got Aaron Rodgers.
So did we.
Jets can make some They could make some noise too. Then you
The
look
Jets
at
are going to.
the Jaguars too. Jaguars with T-Law.
Oh yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like the AFC is loaded, and with Chargers, I like Justin Herbert, but I just he's nice, but they just I don't know.
Their coach is going to be the reason why he gets held back.
Mm.
It's going to be the coach.
So yeah, but yeah, AFC they loaded. So Ravens, like, you can't take a game off. You can't afford that, man, because it's gonna be so many teams just getting after it, man. And that's why getting the division is important. Obviously, just win, not slipping up. Just trying to stay on point, stay ready, so you ain't gotta get ready. Because if you gotta get ready, especially at the end of the season, and all them AFC teams that's loaded with weapons, with quarterbacks, that just it's gonna be tough, man. But again, if they got Lamar, they can mess with anybody.
And my last question.
Go ahead, Raj.
My last question is this: Has Marcus Peters come back? Please say yes. Please.
Oh, Marcus Peters, yeah, that's that'd be a good one. I think Marcus Peters will be on standby because only thing we heard about him is his visit to the Raiders. We ain't heard nothing since, like nothing. And I wonder if the Raiders, if they're treating him,
that's who you want, Raj. This guy.
If they keeping him on standby too, because
you want him back. You want him back.
Hey, wait a minute.
Like that.
He's not gonna be burnt. All right, no, he's not going to be burnt.
If it's a primetime game, he's not. But if it's 1 o'clock, you're gonna get burnt.
Oh man, that was a Dolphins game. Man.
He has a built-in excuse. He's coming off of an ACL tear.
It was ACL.
His ACL tear. He had to get back into things. I expect Marcus Peters to be in prime form coming into next year.
Hey, that would be great. But I wonder how teams feel about him since he ain't been signed yet. And I wonder if a team who may be interested in him, I mean, obviously they're willing to wait this far, but would they be willing to wait all the way till after week 1? Because if they sign him now, any guarantees that he's getting them. But if they sign him after week 1, then none of his contract is guaranteed. It's a week-to-week thing. So I wonder if that could be the case if they feel like Marcus Peters may be an injury risk for them, so they may not want to really commit to him like that. But I have no idea. But right now, if I had to put money on it about him coming back to the Ravens, I would say no, not right now. I think they will be in a wait-and-see approach with their own corners who they have, but hopefully nobody does. But I think if somebody got hurt, then maybe they could give him a call. But then at the same time, you think about it like, where is he going to fit in? He's not a slot corner. He's an outside guy, but you got Rock Yassin as an outside guy. Do you kick Marlon inside to the slot? Is your $98 million corner? Do you want to put him in a slot, or you want to have him outside on the big body receivers? You got the option to move him around like they have done in the past, but I just think Marcus Peters is he's just a fallback option. I think
he's a wait and see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Engraven, before we get you out of here, 2 quick questions I want to pose to you. Who wins the left guard position? Because I think that's something a lot of people aren't talking about. And who will be your breakout player on offense and defense going into training camp? Because we still got a lot of time. I don't want to push you with the predictions. Everybody does that. We can get to that later. But who are your breakout players you're looking forward to on offense and defense? And who do you think wins that left guard position?
Left guard position, I would say, because I know pictures can be deceiving. They can also be edited too. But I'm gonna throw a little wrench in this thing. I'm gonna say either Falele, who's a big.
We like Big Lele here. We like Big Lele.
So Falele or Ben Cleveland. And I think with draft status, I think Ben Cleveland was a 3rd round pick. And right now there's just a big vacancy there. And with Pat McCarry, it seems that Ravens like him as sort of a fallback option. Like, hey, just in case somebody get hurt, just in case somebody's out, you fill in right away. And you could play all 5 positions. We would just want to have you available just in case. So, yeah, I would think one of those 2. Now, breakout player on defense, I'm going to go Hammy. I'm going to go Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton showed some nice flashes last year. Early on in the season, it was a little rough. But as he got comfortable, he looked better and better. Now, that whole top-rated safety thing, I mean, he shut it down himself, but the whole top-rated safety thing was kind of overrated because he was the number one safety in the league last year, but he didn't really play safety like that last year. But I feel like he could be the breakout play on defense. On offense, with health, I would say either J.K. or Rashad Bateman, because those two, they can play in the league, both of them two, but it's just been health that's been the issue. They stay healthy, one of them two, but actually both, J.K. Dobbins and Rashad Bateman. But yeah, definitely those guys.
Engraven, what are you working on next? Where can the people find you again? And what do you got going on your channel? Any big new videos, anything like that you're working on you want to let the people know about?
No, just keeping everybody updated with whatever it is going on, whether it be with the Ravens or the NFL. This year has been insane, man. There's been a lot of twists and turns and a lot of unexpected things that happened this year. One bad one, which was very terrible, the demonetization, but after that, it's just been a crazy bounce back from that. It's just things have been like just really insane, consistently insane. But I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who's ever involved me in anything. Anybody who just looked out, anybody who reached out. Because there's a lot of good people out there, man. It's a whole lot of good people out there. Along with the good people, some bad, but we don't worry about the bad. It's a lot of good people out there. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the four of y'all. I was telling Raj when we was at Jimmy's, I said I got to get y'all on my channel because I've been meaning to do that for a long time. I told people I got a list of people who I want to bring on the channel, and it does say Flex Zone on there right now. So I do want to bring y'all on, just so even more people could get the opportunity to get to know the four of y'all, man, and what y'all been working on over here for years. Because especially when you put in so much work into something. And you, because it's a lot of people that start YouTube, it's a lot of people that start podcasts and whatnot. And if something doesn't work out immediately, they're like, all right, you know what? Whatever. Just I'm gonna throw away everything. I don't need this podcast stuff. I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna put it on eBay or Amazon, whatever. I'm done with it. I don't need it. But for y'all to have shown a dedication to be getting ready to hit 400 episodes, that's real right there, man. Because a lot of people give up. So I commend the four of y'all on just continuing the grind. I really commend y'all on just your persistence with doing what you've been doing. So, and like I said, I'm glad that I get to say it on the record, so y'all can hold me accountable too. Like I said, I did told Raj already, but that was offline, and I mean I told myself, but I got it written down. But now it's out there in the public. Like I need to have y'all on the channel soon, just again, so more people can learn about y'all, learn about the Flex Zone podcast, man. So we got to get that worked out. So we'll get it worked out for sure. But I always appreciate y'all supporting. I always appreciate y'all coming through, man. I always appreciate y'all just showing a lot of love, man. So thank you for that.
Engraven, we thank you again, brother.
Oh, for sure, man.
Thank you, man.
Quick question. I watched the video earlier. How's Carter doing? He's doing a lot better.
He's good now. He's good now. So yeah, that I was grateful for that, man. He's all the way better now. So I love it. So that's because that was
Okay,
Engraven,
good.
Appreciate you.
oh for sure, man. Appreciate y'all.
Send love to the family. I know school's about to end if it hasn't ended already, so I know you're happy about that. Summertime is here, and the dog days Engraven vids will keep you in the loop. We'll try to have Engraven back before the season starts, but again, we appreciate you, Engraven, and
Yeah, for sure.
appreciate you just always coming on the Flex Zone, man.
Sorry about the heat, man. Sorry about those heat.
Appreciate y'all, man. It's unfortunate about you got everybody in Miami a little sad right now, but it's okay.
Oh no, it's Miami, Engraven. You're never sad in Miami, brother. Never sad in Miami. Remember that.
It's I love how the Heat they did a lot of overachieving, which I appreciate, man. But yeah, it's unfortunately over now. That's a wrap. It was fun, and it's funny because before we get out of here, we look at Lamar, and a lot of people are like, man, Lamar he put so much on his shoulders, put so much on his back. He carried a team and whatnot. They need to get him help. And the Ravens, guess what the Ravens did this offseason? They got him a lot of help. He should do the same with Jimmy Butler. That's it.
Anybody you want in particular?
Who? Maybe Dame, man. Maybe Dame. If they could get him,
that would be good.
Yeah, because it's like if the Heat had so much success, and then Jimmy Butler, bam. After that, just
don't forget Hero was hurt.
Oh yeah. He
Yeah.
was, yeah. But yeah, he's healthy. Well, I mean, it's too late now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Well, at least y'all got them
I mean,
for
the
2
East
more
is wide
years.
open, man. Boston can't
Yeah.
get right.
I think they're about to
Milwaukee
blow
can't
it
get
up.
right. Yeah, the East is wide open, bro.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards that too, with them blowing it up with Boston. But
Mhm.
for you guys to exceed expectations, to go to the finals
Yeah,
again,
that's crazy.
after the bubble a few years
Oh
ago,
yeah,
with
2020.
7 undrafted players.
That's insane,
Hats
man.
off to the Miami Heat in that organization, because just like you were talking about the Ravens with coaching, Eric Spoelstra and the job that him and Pat Riley have been doing down there for years. So hats off to the Heat organization. Like you said, if they can just get, I think maybe just one more piece, I think Dame would be a perfect fit, him and Jimmy down there together. I think that they could really make some noise, because I think that was the only thing that was really missing. That and maybe somebody else with a little more size, because I think y'all just got overmatched with Denver's length. But for y'all to go through the Bucks and the Celtics alone, just those 2 teams.
Yeah,
So
because I thought it was a rat when after they beat the Giannis and them, the Bucks. Even though I know Giannis was hurt, he missed some games. But after they beat them and they was matched up against the Celtics, I said, oh, okay, well, hey, I guess that's a wrap. It was fun while it lasted, but they end up outlasting the Celtics. And then when they were up 3-1 against the Celtics,
they
I was like,
3-0.
oh, okay, hey, they getting ready. Oh, they're getting ready to whoop them, and then Celtics start creeping back. I said, oh boy, here we go. But they got it, man. They got it. And the game, that game 7, they just took the Celtics hard out. And but yeah, they just end up being just a little too much, man. A little too much when they faced the Nuggets. And I was just watching Jokic, because I'm a super casual basketball fan. Like during the season, I'm like, all right, whatever. But I watch a little bit here and there during the playoffs. But this been the most interesting I've been in the playoffs for a long time. But I wasn't really familiar with Jokic, and I wasn't familiar with his game or whatnot. But then, and I heard all these people talking about, oh yeah, he should have been MVP over Embiid and whatnot. It should be him. He's a better player. He's one of the best players in the league right now. So I didn't really watch him until the final series that just wrapped up about an hour ago. And just watching him, I'm like, man, this dude can do everything, man. This dude
Mr. YMCA, that's my nickname for him.
It don't make no sense, man.
Mr. YMCA.
He's like a frustrating glitch, man. He's like a cheat code or something. Man. It is crazy watching him, man. Because he's not the fastest. He's not. I mean, he's one of the strongest. He's pretty tall too, but he could shoot. He got the hook shot. He could back you down. He dunk it. He do layups. He do finger. He do everything, man. And it's like, how? But he got it, man. Yeah, so he got it. They got it. Shout out to Denver, though, man. Denver, it's nice when if your team, like, if you never experienced winning a championship, like your team, oh, it's one of the best feelings in the world, man. And nobody can ever take that away from you. That's one of the best parts about it too. Like, even if your team is bad next year, even if they're not so successful, you can say, hey, they won whether it be an NBA championship, they won a Super Bowl, they won whatever it's called in
the
hockey.
Astros. Hey, I want the Orioles to cheat to win the World Series. Cheat.
Come
Cheat.
on.
Look at the Patriots, damn it. Look at the Patriots.
Banging
Ravens,
on the
record some
trash
plays.
can and all that. Hey, whatever works, man. One of my guys, it's funny, who he's a Patriots fan. He said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Right. That's
Right.
my motto. If
That's
you
right.
ain't
We want it.
trying.
We'll take it by any means necessary. That's right.
But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all a lot, man. This
Engraven,
was
thank
cool
you
as
again,
always,
brother.
man.
Appreciate you one more
much
time,
love.
Engraven. Shout out to Engraven, dude.
My guy.
Oh man, Engraven, thanks again, man. Again,
yeah,
love
for
the
sure,
family.
man.
Keep the great work, and we'll see you real soon, my brother.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
All right,
Appreciate it.
peace.
One more time for Engraven, everybody. Oh man, as he leaves the Flex Zone building.
Third.
So gracious with his time. Always showing love for the Flex Zone podcast. The knowledge. I gotta get to the super chat real quick before we get to the finals, before we transition to this old NBA season that is now over. But we got a $4.99 super chat from
Yes,
Top
appreciate
Line
that.
Sports
Yes.
and Basketball. Big shout out to you guys. This year is my favorite AFC team. Winner tip, Gold, Ravens, $4.99. Appreciate you, Top Line Sports. Hopefully that comes true. Speaking of basketball, we did just see the Denver Nuggets win the NBA championship. Rod, you over there shaking your head. Your boy Big Yoke, Mr. YMCA, got it done. He went through your Lakers. He went through KD and Devin Booker. He's just the best player in the world probably right now. Mr. Triple Double, most points, rebounds, and assists in a single postseason. The Nuggets, man, they're proven. Ain't about the stars no more. It's about having the best team.
Yeah, man. I told y'all before when the playoffs started, I thought that this team was going to make a run. They pretty much played great basketball. They beat damn near everybody, of course, because they won a championship. But hats off to the Nuggets. Hats off to Jokic. I know he got screwed, during the regular season because I thought he should have been the MVP as well. And he damn near showed off in the playoffs, man. He did almost everything that you can imagine. I mean, he almost averaged a triple-double. I mean, he is probably the best big man in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the Nuggets, this might not be the last championship. They might repeat next year. So they have a lot of upside, and they have a lot of great pieces that they can go back to as well. Jamal Murray played a great series, a great playoff series. Michael Porter still growing. Caldwell Pope is a 2-time champion now because he won a championship a couple years back. And Aaron Gordon had a phenomenal game for the last series. So I'm not surprised at this. It doesn't shock me. I thought that the Nuggets were like I said, were the best team in the league. And I got to give hats off to the Heat as well. Like Engraven just said a couple minutes ago, they were very. Of course, they were underdogs, and they played a hell of a game. Especially this game, they almost came back and made it a 3-2. Well, they almost came back and made it 3-2, and they came out. They fell just a little bit short, but they had a hell of a playoff run. I mean, going against the Bucks and beating them, beating New York, beating the Celtics, just to get to the finals, being the 8th seed is phenomenal. Honestly, the only team that has done that was the New York Knicks back in '99.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anybody else has done that since. But shout out to the Nuggets though. Shout out to the Heat. They did what they're supposed to do. They played very hard, played very good basketball, and I'm happy that that Jokic got his just due because people were scrutinizing him a lot, saying that he's a big guy and he does all these things. He's not really entertaining. But can he get better? Can he, stay on the floor longer? Because he had a lot of wind issues when he first started. Like he would run out of gas in the middle of a game. So he worked on that, in the past couple of off seasons, and right now he's at the top of his game. So hats off to him, man. Hats off to the Nuggets. Let's see what happens during the off season.
Cravante, I'm gonna get you in here, but please make sure if you guys are new here, you're just joining us on the Flex Zone. We had Engraven in the building. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. We do all types of content on this channel. Ravens. I do a lot of Orioles content. We do wrestling content. We do it all, and some gaming coming later this month. Details coming soon. Stay tuned. But go ahead, Cravante. Let's get your thoughts on the finals, brother.
First of all, Marcus and Paul's is hilarious. And Big Red said Jeffrey Butler is also very funny. They're going off in the comments right now, and I've been trying to keep up.
Appreciate all y'all.
I've been trying to keep up, and I'm like, yo, these cats are funny. But again, thank everybody for hanging out with Engraven, and definitely for those in the comments, please share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But finals was not this sexiest finals ever. Was not the most heavily viewed. I don't think I saw any of the games from start to finish. It just wasn't star-studded like it usually is. And the best player is a man of not many words. Probably less words than Kawhi Leonard when Kawhi Leonard won MVP. Just guys that just really don't talk, but it's to the point of we're going in the direction of more about culture and more about coaching and getting more of a team, not being hell bent on having a superstar. and it kind of started when Giannis and them won, even though he is a superstar, but Milwaukee is not a big market at all. And even when they were playing Phoenix, Phoenix is not a big market either. So this is the second time in recent memory that we've had two teams from when neither one of them is a big sports market. Denver is known for a lot of other things. Miami is known for a lot of other things.
Yes, indeed.
So, for them to be representing the NBA as the two best teams is commendable. And I said it before and I'll say it again. If you want to learn basketball and how to play the game, how to play as a team, and fundamental basketball, these two teams were two teams to watch, to actually learn the game. And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't super cool, wasn't super sexy. It's really they really played like the Spurs did. But the Nuggets, and Raj has been saying it all year, really, especially before the playoffs. The Nuggets have been the best team all year, like consistently, like from start to finish. Jamal Murray being, the best number 2 out there, turning himself into he's on the cusp of being a superstar. Jokic doing whatever he wants. Like, what is a point center? Whatever it is him. Like, it's just as awkward as that is to say. It's kind of awkward watching him play basketball. And it's like, yo, but he's really, really, really good. And I don't know if people forgotten, before this year, he won back-to-back MVPs. And it seems like, and if we watch in recent memory, it's not many guys that win an MVP and then win Finals MVP. It's just not many. Like, we got Steph and LeBron that's done it the most recent, but the MVP is kind of like it's unlucky. You almost don't want the award because it just doesn't happen often enough. But Jokic was definitely number 1 or number 2 in the MVP race, as he should have been. Him and Joel Embiid have been, pretty much neck and neck for the past couple years. And, congrats to Joel Embiid finally making it through. But I'm sure Jokic would much rather have it play out the way that it did. To the Miami Heat, the Miami overachievers is what they should call them, because that's what they've been doing the entire year. This was a play-in team, and now that also gives like the NBA an opportunity to pat themselves on the back for creating the play-in and having a team make it all the way to the finals. So it's almost like, all right, this is what we wanted. We wanted to give those teams who were probably just outside of the playoff reach an opportunity to make it to the playoffs. And lo and behold, the Miami Heat made it to the finals and got a game. So, shout out to the NBA for trying something different, and it's been successful thus far. Coach Eric Spo does not get the credit he deserves for being one of the best coaches in the NBA right now. He just proved, like, he can make it to the big dance and the NBA finals without having the best talent. He has the best team, and everybody plays their roles well. And when they play together, they look like a great team. And they have been a great team since the beginning of the playoffs. This team couldn't score. I don't know if you guys can remember, like, this team was not a great scoring team at all. I mean, you can look at the finals and tell, I don't think they hit 100. But they hit 100 maybe once in 5 games. I'm not sure. But this was not a great scoring team in the league. And for them to beat the 2 heavy hitters in the East, and Milwaukee and Boston, says a whole lot about the toughness. Like, the Miami Heat have a lot of intangibles, a whole lot of intangibles. They're very tough-minded. They don't give up. They don't quit. They don't change anything. And somehow, some way, they're beating up on these teams. Like after they beat the Bucks, I'm like, oh, the Celtics are definitely going to go to the championship. They beat them like they stole something the first 3 games. And then, my mind seemed like this one of those teams was like, if their back's not up against the wall, they don't play well. Like, I think they do that underdog thing. Like the Miami underachieving, the Miami overachieving underdogs. that's who they are. And this was a great basketball series. If you're teaching any of the kids how to hoop, how to play ball, watch these 2 teams because it was no flash, it was no flair, it was straight basketball. Lastly, shout out to the Denver Nuggets. First championship. I think somebody said in the comments 47 years or something like that. First time being in the finals and obtaining a championship with the quietest, best player in the league and a hell of a number 2 in Jamal Murray. Shout out to Jamal Murray for coming back from injury and giving his team an incredible boost on the way to winning their first championship. So big ups to the Denver Nuggets for winning the championship and having a great opportunity to win it again next year.
Real quick, I got to get to Travis, who left us a super sticker. So Travis Beto, appreciate the support, appreciate the love, the $5 super sticker, appreciate the love, appreciate the support. You're going to have to change that avatar because Thielen is now in Carolina. But we love you, Travis. So make sure you stay tuned to the Flex Zone. And, hey, support us. You can join the party, super chat us. Show support to the channel. Almost at 400 episodes. So show us some support for our persistence and longevity. Last but not least, Drizzy Dre.
Hey, thank y'all for the continued like and support. People still checking in. Shout out to Fanola as well. She's from Miami. So for her to give congratulations to the Denver Nuggets takes a lot. So thank you for checking in. I don't think anybody picked the Denver Nuggets on the show. At least I don't recall anybody picking Denver. You did, Raj? You did, Raj? Okay. No, I mean at the beginning of the season. Oh, you did. You did pick them at the beginning of the season?
No, that I don't. I can't remember.
Okay.
But during but as far as I'm going into being a number 1 seed, I was like, I don't think anybody could beat them.
I mean, look, the Lakers, I think, were the closest team probably to them. I mean, I know they got swept, but I think like when you look at their run, they went through. Karate, I know we talked about the Miami Heat, but Denver had a run too to go through Phoenix, and I know we were questioning Phoenix, but you still can't take away the greatness of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, though CP3 got hurt. The Lakers, you had LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and the coming out party for Austin Reeves, but it was just D'Angelo Russell. Like we were like, it was an APB out for him because that the previous series, I forgot who the Lakers took on, but then the Denver Nuggets,
Golden State
Golden State, but the Denver Nuggets, swept the Lakers, and then for them to go to Miami and give them the gentleman's sweep. So I mean, this team is here to stay. They're still contracted. They're entering their prime. Joker has gotten much. Whatever. Joker has gotten much better, and you can just see that. I mean, this guy, we were talking about years ago how Russell Westbrook was averaging a triple-double, but I mean, it's believable with Joker because of his size. I mean, the rebounds and his just passing abilities. As a big man, like we said, this is the best big man in the league, and definitely up there from an offensive perspective. Because I mean, we've seen great big men over the years. The Kareems, the Russells, the Shaqs of the world. Just name a few. Big men. But I mean, the Elijah one. But I mean, it's almost like when they say like Joker is just kind of like a combination of everybody all in one because of the footwork that he's done, the fundamental skills that he has, and then being able to just shoot the basketball the way that he does, and his vision is just like no other. So, I mean, the Denver Nuggets definitely deserve to win this NBA championship, and they may be back, like Rod said, because they're, like I said, they're all in their prime, and Jamal Murray, for him to be healthy after, a couple years ago when we were saying that if Jamal Murray was healthy, what could they do? So this duo together, and then you don't want to take anything else from their team, but I also want to give their coach a shout out too, because we all thought that the job that Eric Spoelstra did in the previous series against Boston, we were like, oh, the coach with experience may trump what's going on in Denver, but I mean, he got them over the hump finally. So for Denver to win their first NBA championship, hats off to them. And you see the support. I mean, you had people there from Russell Wilson, Sean Payton, Peyton Manning, just to name a few people who were at this Denver game. So the backing is there. It's a tough place to play at, and of course, like I said, they could definitely be back. So we'll of course, the draft is coming up. There's free agency, so we'll see what other moves there are out there. But this already seems like the team to beat, and because of Joker, you're probably going to see now another shift in the NBA, where we were talking at one time about how Steph Curry revolutionized the game, but now Joker, because there are some great big men out there, the Anthony Davises, the Joel Embiids of the world. But
look. There it goes. That's Anthony Davis.
Whatever. Marcus, man, you was good, man. Now you just
Marcus going off.
Street clothes,
Back,
Marcus.
man.
We call them street clothes.
But I mean, but right now, Joker, I mean, because he's durable, and then he has a Tim Duncan type of flair to him, and like you said, it's almost like Tim Duncan and Kawhi Leonard, because he's literally about his business, but the fundamentals are just so there. It's not like he has a quick game, but his fundamentals are so good that it's hard to beat, this team. So I'm interested to see what happens with them. But I mean, this is the first title in their franchise ever, and for them to also remember that this team has been to a conference finals a couple times, and Carmelo couldn't even get them over the hump, and that's the greatness of Carmelo Anthony and that team that year with Chauncey Billups. They just ran into a Lakers squad that they just couldn't overcome. This time around, they faced a Lakers squad, but they were able to overcome having the pieces that they had. So I'm happy for the city of Denver, and I'm happy for the Denver Nuggets. I'm happy for Joker for finally being able to get it, and I think Joker probably should have gotten MVP this year, but they probably gave it to Embiid because they should have gave it to him a couple years ago. So nevertheless, like you were saying, Byron, it's just hard to do MVP and Finals MVP, and this would have been a great year to get that thing done.
Speaking of NBA, and we'll talk more about it as free agency approaches, Fred VanVleet opted out of his contract, so he'll be a free agent. So I know Lakers Nation and the Heat, you're talking about point guards. Dame was tweeting some cryptic things about maybe him possibly being traded. So Dame, we heard about Chris Paul being released as well. Potentially,
Lakers,
that's going to happen.
Go get Chris Paul, man.
Go get Fred VanVleet, Dre.
Yeah,
or Dame. Or
Go get Chris Paul. Go get Chris Paul. No,
I told you.
Hold on, Cravante. I got something for that.
Well, now that's goofy.
Chris Paul.
Look, I'm saying it. I think Chris Paul, along with Kyrie Irving, could get the Lakers over the hump.
He won both of them, Cravante. He won all of them. He won all the goofy.
Y'all ain't got nothing. What? I ain't got no money.
Yeah. Well, because I think you can get them both. Chris Paul, I think you can get him at a minimum deal, and I think Kyrie, you could sign him for a year deal, not a max deal. Get him a year deal. You're gonna have to pay Kyrie a little bit, but I think that because I think the one thing the Lakers were missing in that series was the shooting. And I think Chris Paul, it gives him a chance to finally play with LeBron James, a floor general that's going to be out there. So that way you don't have, that way you can move Kyrie to the shooting guard position. He doesn't have to be the point guard. Same thing with LeBron James. LeBron can go right there to the forward position. And I think that alleviates somebody having to take the ball up and down the floor. I think that you really need Chris Paul more so for the playoff runs, more so than the regular season. I think that they can develop some chemistry real quick, and I think that it'll be enough to get this Lakers team over the hump. Because, like I said, they were very close in beating the Denver Nuggets. I think that they just missed it. They just missed another shooter. Hence, when I made my comment about D'Angelo Russell, and that's why I said I think that those two would be great additions. Now, I think Van Fleet would be another good addition, but I think that the two of CP3 and Kyrie together with the Lakers, I think that would be the best thing to get them to where they ultimately want to go.
So what are you doing with Rui and Austin Reeves and all those guys? Because you ain't going to be able to sign them.
They have to talk about signing Austin Reeves to a $100 million contract. I wouldn't do that. Austin Reeves is good, but not a $100 million contract. No, not yet.
Right.
All right.
He sounds
Dre.
absurd.
There you go. We got another Lakers fan. Layback, Big Al. These are Lakers fans up here. Dre and Rod. So hit the subscribe button.
Look, man, get off. Stay off the weed, bro. I know you probably be smoking a little bit over there. All right, you probably smoking something really hefty.
Man, look, only thing I smoked only thing I smoked recently was a cigar, a celebration cigar.
Mm-hmm, that has some weed in it, but
no, it didn't have no weed in it, man. Cigars don't have no weed. It ain't to get the smoke game up.
Listen to me. I don't want Chris Paul. All right, no. I'm not saying that he is a terrible player. I'm not saying that he couldn't help the Lakers, but at this stage of the game, I don't trust him. He's what 38 years old, probably. He's the same age as LeBron James is, and he's having trouble staying on the court in the playoffs. This ain't the first time he's gotten hurt in the playoffs. He's been hurting a lot in the playoffs.
Every year, except for when they went to the finals.
Exactly. Almost every year he has some nagging injury, or he can't play, or something stupid is happening to him. I don't want him. Kyrie, I can see
Kyrie!
I can see Kyrie coming to this team because of the LeBron James connection, because they won a championship in Cleveland in 2016, and it makes sense. But I will not sacrifice re-signing Rory and Austin Reeves. I just cannot do that, because Austin Reeves' ceiling is a little bit higher than Kyrie's, in my opinion. And I like Rory Hachimura's size and his shooting, and I cannot see the Lakers getting rid of both of them. Now, Van Fleet, that's interesting. I like that. Now, if he wants to come to LA, he's very welcome to come. He's a very great shooter. He hits a lot of big shots. We need that in LA. So I will welcome him with open arms if he's willing to take a less of a deal. Dame Dollar, if he wants to come to LA as well, baby, you're welcome. Saddle on up, get your ass over here. We would love to have you. But as far as Chris Paul, I mean, I like you, but no, I need you to stay wherever you're at. If it's the old folks' home, if it's another State Farm commercial, if you can find Cliff Paul somewhere, go do that. But as far as the Laker uniform, stay away. Kyrie, I'm iffy on. I don't really want him. But if LeBron is insistent on having him, you can come, but you can't get all the dollars, brother. You got to take a little bit of a pay cut. But that's just my take on these things.
We'll keep you guys in the loop.
And shout out to your mom, Byron.
Yes, shout out to mom in the building. She's up late tonight, so drop it down for my mom. Everybody show love. Hit that like button if you haven't already. We'll keep you guys in the loop. We got the draft coming up. We got NBA free agency starting next month, and the Flex Zone will be here for all of it. What do the Lakers do? What do the Nuggets do? What do the Heat do? What happens? that and so much more. Cavante, you ready to let the people know what you got coming up next, your segment,
sir.
and what you do each and every week and what they can expect tonight?
Absolutely. This comment is very funny. Also, folks been all one tonight, man.
Shout out
But
to Big Red. She's always here every day, man. Appreciate you, Big Red. Subscribe. Hey, everybody here, because we've been helped by Engraven, and if you can, go to Living with Big Reg's page, subscribe to his channel. He's in all of our live streams. He's in all of our videos. Go to Big Reg's channel, Living with Big Reg, as you can see. Support my brother. He's up in
Yes.
Connecticut, I believe. He's up north, but he's a Ravens fan. He's always checking in on post game shows, the videos, live streams. Appreciate you, Big Reg, brother. So just want to show you some love. But Cavante, Goofies of the week.
indeed, welcome, good people, to Goofies of the Week, sponsored by the Flex Zone. I appreciate you guys for giving me a little bit of time to let me tell the good people what I thought was goofy this week. And I don't think there's any way you don't know what goofy this is.
Speaking of Goofy, real quick,
Gosh, something wrong here.
My Goofy always right on time.
our second
somewhere.
special guest of the night. Second special guest.
So I'm gonna get into my goofy in a few, but there's a couple levels of goofiness that I deal with, that we deal with. Two levels. We have low level goofy, which is the color green. We call it jet green and Packer green, for their goofiness over the past couple years. Green is a low level goofy. We usually laugh about it, we kiki, ha ha, and we move on in the hopes that does not become a higher level goofy to which we can't control, which is the red level goofy. That's Cardinal Sin red level goofy, the highest level of goofiness, where we have to come together. We have to congregate to figure out what's going wrong. How can we fix this? Because it's gotten out of hand, and now we have to talk about it. We have to find a way to make this not as goofy, and it should not be this goofy. But anyway, I have one solo dolo goofy, and is of course of the high level variety, and it is Ya Man, number one overall pick from the 2019 NBA draft, Zion Williamson. Hey, give me the horns, Byron. Give me the horns.
Yes, he gets the bombs, he gets the horns, he gets it all.
My heavens, because there was a bombshell that he dropped on social media. Number one, congratulations. Zion Williamson is expecting him and his I guess it's been reported that him and his girlfriend, I believe her name is Akima. Check her name on that. Yes, Miss Akima are expecting their first child. So give a couple for that, Byron. Give a couple for that. And they are expecting a baby girl. So Zion Williams is going to be in the girl dad category. But he's been that wasn't the only thing he was in the news, the social media news for. Not long after the pictures dropped with him and his girlfriend, Akima, at their gender reveal. They showing pictures of them. He looked really happy. They looked happy. Said it was a girl. So it's like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. This is so cool. This is so great. Everything's great. Everything's good. Not long after, did a lady by the name of Mariah. Oh, and that's Zion Williamson right there, and Miss Akima. And he a lady by the name of Mariah Mills
Shout out to her. Hold on. I got one because Mariah Mills. You know we're gonna do team keep it clean. Cavante, not to take up too much of your time, but I got to do this.
Do you want to know what makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard?
Okay, there we go. You can do your own research, by the way.
Mariah Mills is a adult actress, an adult movie actress. She's in that taboo world that makes billions of dollars. And she did not have nice things to say in regards to the news that Zion was becoming a father with this young lady right here. So apparently Zion and Mariah had some visits, some sexual visits, and there were some messages going back and forth. It was on Snapchat, which I thought was interesting because I'm like, oh dang, I ain't heard about Snapchat in quite some time. But Mariah was going off on Twitter, very explicit, sharing very, very personal and explicit things about her experiences, her sexual experiences with Mr. Zion Williamson here. And very, very hurt. And she had some negative things to say about the young lady in the picture on the left, Miss Akima, saying she was basically a low budget adult actress. And yeah, just going off, just showing her pain and just spilling it all on Twitter. Now, I don't know what her end goal is, but it was entertaining to say the absolute least. And is that her on the right? I believe that's her on the right.
That is Mariah Mills on your right, fellas and ladies. If you want to do your research after the show, it is after 12 o'clock on the East Coast. So do what you want with that information with a Flex Zone. Only place giving you not only sports how you want it when you need it, but that goofy, wonderful, IG candy and all that good stuff. Right? There you
go. Thanks, bro. But so yeah, so she did not have any nice things to say, and you really just airing out her and Zion Williamson's dirty laundry. And so that's going on. Now, what makes this goofy is I actually looked back and did some research. Zion Williamson has been missing a lot of games, guys. He's been missing. He's been MIA, to say the least. He's been in the league 4 years, and he's only played in 3. He missed the entire 2021-22 season due to I think he had a leg injury. Missed the entire season. Of the other 3 seasons, he's played a combined 114 games. Now, with him missing all these games, and basically, my God, if we're talking about production, the ratio from playing games to not playing games, he's stealing money at this point. But with his time off, I see what he's been doing. I see what's been going on. This is what you've been doing in this is what you've been doing in your time off, good brother. This is how you choose to spend your time off. Now, I'm not mad at how the brothers choose to spend his time, but I'm saying you're a number 1 overall pick. The New Orleans Pelicans put their organization in your hands. And I feel like they have not been getting the payoff that they deserve. And honestly, pretty much, Zion's been trying to leave since he got there. He's been trying to make his way to a bigger market, aka New York, since the second year. And for this type of news and this type of goofiness to come out, it's like, look, you probably need to put a little bit more attention, into the basketball side of things. Now, we all understand injuries do happen, and injuries can't really be, they can be avoided to a degree, but injuries are a part of the game. It is what it is. But goddamn, Zion, you gotta get back on the court now. You gotta get back on the court. There's no way this is the lasting image we see of you. You gotta get a basketball in your hand to make us forget all this goofiness that you got going on. And by no means, brother, do what you do in your personal life. That's how you do. That's how you rock. By all means, do you, brother. But God damn it, watch out. And this is a PSA to all the young brothers, athletes in the future. Not Blue Chew. To young brothers, young athletes, and that will be coming in the future, near future, in the professional ranks. Please watch out for the older women. Please watch out for the older ladies. Mariah Mills, I believe, is 32, and Miss Akima, his now soon-to-be child's mother, is, I believe, she's 29, so basically pushing 30. Zion Williamson is 22, if I'm not mistaken. Listen, brother, got to be more careful, my guy. See, this is what happens when you have too much time on your hands. These type of things that happen. He's got to be more careful. What is that? Full court trap? God damn it. He should know that. He played ball. He should know that right there. But God damn it, brother. We've seen these stories like this all the time. We've actually seen another brother from the 2019. Actually, Byron, check that for me if you can. The 2019 draft in PJ Washington.
Yes.
I believe he's from that draft as well. And we know his situation with Miss Brittany Renner.
Yes.
Where we are familiar with her, with that situation. Again, a nice age gap between PJ and Brittany. I ain't calling nobody nothing, but I'm just saying, young brothers, there's a game being played, and we're not talking basketball. And young brothers are continuing to fall into these traps and end up like this. Now, he looks happy now. We'll check back in with him in a year or two to make sure, to see how his happiness has progressed or regressed. So, Zion Williamson.
Speaking of Brittany Renner,
Oh, snap. Is that Shaq Diesel?
Yes. Yeah, if you didn't know, by the way, people, that's who Brittany Renner was with most recently. I think a couple days ago.
And we don't have no more reports on that. We've seen some pictures they was walking. We don't know what's going on. It could have been a business meeting. Who knows? As Shaq is a veteran in this game and the other game. So, you know, I don't foresee any goofiness coming from Shaq, but I'm sure Shaq is being more than careful. Zion Williamson, on the other hand, has not been, and has been in the streets, and now it's all on the forefront right now. But my thing is, brother, get back into playing basketball. This is what happens when young brothers with money have free time on their hands. This is what happens. This is the goofiness that happens. I hate to see it from a young brother, but how many examples of this do we have to continue to see for y'all to figure it out? Maybe because y'all young and y'all feel like it can't happen to y'all, but it keeps happening, and it's a same young brother, same young brothers with money. Y'all have to figure this out. It's not much to figure out, but please open your eyes. Stop getting caught up. And Zion, get back on the court. Just get back on the court. And hopefully Mariah Mills in one of her tweets, she said, hey, she was late. And y'all know what that means. So there's a chance that she could just be talking. She could just be talking. Because she's mad and upset and angry because you probably promised her the world, promised her that y'all was gonna be together or something like that. So she's hurt. She's a woman scorned right now. So hopefully her being late is not what it could be. Because then you have two situations on your hands. And we don't want that for you, good brother. But Zion, you're my lone Goofy of the week. And Mariah Mills gets a little bit of this too, but focus on the basketball. Zion Williamson, get back on that goddamn basketball court and goddamn it, do better. But you are my lone Goofy of the week, along with your situation. Y'all know my line. There's a thin line between goofy and great. And unfortunately, this young brother, like many other young brothers, is on the wrong side of things. Got to do better. Got to do better.
Of course. Something wrong here.
Well, now that's goofy.
Rod, do you have your belt? Because I think Zion needs the belt. You have the belt? You got the belt close by, man?
Be honest, I do have the belt. Well, I actually bought a new belt.
So this one needs to get broken in.
His ass might need it. Yeah. He might need all of that treatment. But it's too late for him.
He needs it though.
It's too late for him now. But you know what? I gotta give an honorable mention. I understand that he was the lone Goofy of the week, but goddamn it, Paul Pierce, man. If y'all haven't seen Paul Pierce on Showtime, I guess reviewing Game 4 with KG, please check it out. It is so embarrassing. This brother has fell from grace. He was on the live stream buying prostitutes. I kid you not. This man brought a prostitute to stream the game with KG, and he was telling KG, "Look, see, this is my girlfriend for the day, Camille." KG was like, "Chill, stop." And he just kept going on. He was like, "No, for real, I bought her." I have no words.
Right.
Y'all have to watch it yourselves. It is. I mean, Stephen A. already did a reaction to it, and a couple other people did too. And it's utterly embarrassing, man. It really
that is embarrassing. Hall of Fame.
That's my Goofy of the week as well, because Paul Pierce, he was the truth at one point. Now he's just
the goof.
The Goofy.
Yeah.
The goof on the top.
He always been goofy to me though.
That's it.
Drizzy Dre. We are off next week for Juneteenth.
Yes.
We'll be back in 2 weeks for
with
new episode.
Yep, and we'll have a special guest, Jacob, who will be joining us on that particular episode. And shout out to Engraven for being on this episode today.
Exit 52 podcast. We'll have those gentlemen on for episode 398. So a week off next week. We're celebrating Juneteenth. Make sure you go out there and celebrate. Rod, you said what they having at your party? At your job? Your job by the state of Maryland, right? You work for the state, right?
Well, that's not by them.
Okay.
A unit. We're having chicken and water and a side of black.
Oh man.
I'm not even gonna comment. That's why I just left like that.
I'm kidding about the black. We're not having black. I'm joking. But the chicken and watermelon.
Well, now that's goofy.
Yes, extremely. It is.
Real quick, Drizzy Dre. Episode 398. What can people expect as we hit episode 400 before we get to the social media and all the stuff on the channel? And how can they keep up with you? Start the day with they don't start the day with a cup of Dre anymore, did they?
No, not no more. But I'm still here with the Flex Zone. So 400 episodes and 400 episodes and counting. We have the look. The NBA Finals is done, but we got we call them the dog days of summer, but we got a lot here on the channel over the summer. So watch out, keep your eye out for the flex zone and what we're about to do.
Big Rod, you're the social media producer who makes these streams pristine. Appreciate you, my brother. I really, really do. Couldn't have done this without you. This week, we got a big week ahead. A lot of wrestling. You want to let people know what's going on if they like that type of stuff.
Yeah, big week ahead. Tons of wrestling. Check out for AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. A lot of things coming up during the weekend. A lot of Pride Orioles content coming your way as well. They've been killing it in baseball right now. And just stay tuned, man. We have a big Saturday show.
Yes, CM Punk is
Collision. AEW Collision. So we'll be live streaming that as well. So if you're in tune to the wrestling content and the more Ravens content as well, I'm pretty sure. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man. You're gonna find a little bit of everything here. We kind of do a bunch of everything.
Yes, we'll have Ravens videos as the final stop before training camp. So Odell's here, JK's here, Lamar's been here. So we get the full repertoire of Ravens on the practice field the rest of this week. Cravante, we gotta do some draft previews coming up. Well, probably just one, but Wembanyama.
You're breaking out, brother.
You're breaking in and out.
No,
We hear you. Oh,
Come on.
No, we can't hear him. But we can hear the nice music though in the back.
thank you.
Not-
Shout out to Doc Disrespect.
I don't even know.
Cravante, the executive producer is Andre Melton. He's the head of the Flex Zone table. Appreciate him for making the Flex Zone vision come to life. Cravante, he is our resident Commanders fan, our resident Commandalorian. Yes, he's the senior producer. Big Raj is our social media producer. Like you said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. And I'm yours truly, God's favorite host. You might see me a lot on the channel, shorts, everything's up. Associate producer as well. Again, big shout out to Engraven. If you can, make sure you follow his page. I'm gonna put it up on the screen here for you guys. Engraven Vid. You guys know if you've probably been in here already, but this gentleman has helped us out tremendously, and look forward to possibly soon on his channel as well. So once again, Engraven, can't thank you enough for what you helped us out with and bringing your knowledge and insight here to the channel. I think that's all we pretty much got, right? It's almost time to get ready to get out of here.
Yeah, we burning the midnight oil, as another channel would say.
Oh joy.
That's the wrestling one.
Oh joy. Yes, appreciate everybody in the comments. Marcus. Yes, Marcus is MJF. That's right. We love MJF, baby.
Yes, we do.
We're here Wednesdays. We do all pay-per-views for wrestling. WWE, AEW. We got Money in the Bank coming up. We got Forbidden Door in 2 weeks. We got Wembley in August. SummerSlam, or SummerSlam, as we call it. We got weekly AEW. We're doing Collision. See how that goes for the first couple weeks. And I will be getting AEW Fight Forever. So we'll be playing that on this channel. So stay tuned to that real soon. Layback, Big Al, Marcus, Big Red. Everybody was in here. Finola, Miss Queen, my sister. Shout out to her. I'll be seeing her soon. My mom, Miss Rollins, was in here. Just don't want to forget everybody. Everybody showed love tonight. Again, Engraven, appreciating him. You guys are cutting up in the comments. So hit the bell, hit the subscribe button. Marcus, appreciate you, brother. For Dre. Cravante, you back. Did you have something to say before we get you in there? We got to get those draft previews for the NBA. Okay, I got you, brother. Appreciate you. For Dre, Cravante, Big Rod. Once again, shout out to Engraven, God's favorite, signing off. Stay tuned to the channel. We'll
Thank you, Mark.
Coming up. Orioles, Ravens, wrestling, all that, and so much more. Only place giving sports how you want it, fellas.
When you need it.
And until next time, 2 weeks. Episode 398 with Exit 52 Sports Podcast. It's a Flex Zone Podcast. Throw your ones up and acknowledge the head of the Sports Podcast table. And until next time, have a great night, everybody. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Vote on the poll. You can still super chat, donate. We gone, y'all. Peace. Have a great night. Thanks again.
The ones. Till next time. Happy Juneteenth, everybody.